Hello and welcome into the BTN SU Volleyball Show. I'm Griffin Epstein alongside Jackson Kinney and Sam Weixler. And guys, it was another tough week for Indiana Volleyball as they were swept by rival Purdue on the road on Wednesday before coming back home to Wilkinson Hall against Wisconsin and also falling 3-0. What were your guys' thoughts on another tough week for Indiana?
Well, the main thing that pops out to me in both games was the offensive sloppiness. The hitting percentage was abysmal. They committed 33 errors in both games combined, 14 against Purdue, 19 against Wisconsin. That's just not going to get it done against teams like Purdue, and especially number 4 in the nation, Wisconsin.
Allowing your opponents 19 errors and putting up way more is just something you can't do. Unforced errors are just giving your opponents points, and you can't afford to do that when you're 12-13 in the conference, middle of the pack, trending towards the bottom as you're in an 8-game losing streak. You've got to help yourself out and not make mistakes.
Now, it's Steve Aird's second year at the helm for Indiana Volleyball. Last year, they had some notable wins and about a similar record now compared to this year, actually a little bit better last year. But where does this program stand this year compared to last year?
Right, so at this exact point last year, the team was 15-10, 3 more wins than they have now. Last year, the big difference was the amount of veterans they had and the veteran presence that those players brought. This year, it's 9 new players with 9 returners, and they're trying to work together and get that chemistry going, which is kind of difficult, especially in a conference like the Big Ten. So they're definitely more developed this year than they were last year at this point.
And you mentioned the Big Ten there. Big Ten is chock full of really strong teams. Purdue, Wisconsin, Penn State will be a challenge, no doubt, and they've got to find a place to pick up points going in the rest of the season.
So speaking of the rest of the season, now 8 games left in the regular season, 1 month, and the Hoosiers are not going to make the postseason for what will be the 6th year in a row as the program. But what can this program accomplish the rest of the way, and what would that mean to this young program going forward? Steve Aird is trying to build something here at Indiana.
I think they can get a couple more wins in conference on what's left of the schedule. They're going to Rutgers. Rutgers is a very winnable game. They might be able to take one against Purdue, or not Purdue, Penn State, excuse me. And maybe one against Michigan here or there, because they beat Michigan last year, so it's not out of the question this year. There are a couple games where they can really go off on a high note into the offseason.
Michigan State being that potentially. Michigan State 4-8 in Big Ten play, and they play them twice to cap off the season. It would be amazing to get at least a victory in one of those and put up a fight, show that you are improving going into toward next season.
So will the Hoosiers be able to end that 8-game losing streak? They'll try to end that streak starting this Friday as they hit over the road again, as you can see, heading to State College to take on the number 15 Nittany Lions of Penn State Friday night at 7:30 before they'll travel to Piscataway in New Jersey to face just a 2-10 Rutgers team Saturday evening at 7. While the Hoosiers will look to break their 8-game losing streak this week, that will do it for today's show. For a great production team, Jackson Kinney and Sam Weixler, I'm Griffin Epstein. We'll see you next week.